The knock came at exactly 11:47 p.m. Zeynep Korkmaz set down her calculator and peered through the curtain. The street was empty, but on her computer screen a new message blinked ominously. Your identity has been compromised. 24 hours remaining. She realized the mask she'd worn for 15 years was finally slipping, because the spies she'd been hunting had finally found her. From which city in the world are you watching this video today? If this story resonates with you, consider subscribing for more untold stories of ordinary people with extraordinary secrets. 15 years earlier, Zeynep Korkmaz was one of MIT's youngest intelligence analysts. While other agents ran operations in the field, she sat quietly in front of computer screens, uncovering the truth hidden behind numbers. Money transfers, account movements, seemingly innocent banking transactions. They all told her a story that others couldn't see. Money leaves a trail for everything, her supervisor Amit used to say. You have a natural gift for this, Zeynep. Numbers literally speak to you. And they truly did. A series of account movements told her the story of a terrorist organization's financing network. A foreign exchange transfer revealed an international spy's identity. What looked like a confusing pile of numbers to ordinary eyes painted a crystal-clear picture for Zeynep. But then came the Bosnia operation, the mission that would change her life forever. Serbian intelligence was trying to identify Turkish agents. Zeynep's mission was to detect double agents and track money flows. She worked for months, analyzing thousands of account movements. Finally, she found it. She was the only one who could see the bigger picture. The operation was successful. Double agents were identified. The network collapsed. But there was a problem. Zeynep had done too good a job, so good that she had become a target herself. Your identity has been compromised, Amit told her that day. Serbian intelligence is starting to recognize you, not just them either. You're too good at this job, Zeynep, and that makes you dangerous. She had two choices, either stage a fake death and disappear completely, or hide in plain sight. She chose the most dangerous place, the safest place, becoming an accountant. Gökhan Marketing Limited, a small advertising firm with 12 employees in the heart of Istanbul. Zeynep Korkmaz became an ordinary accounting manager who calculated marketing budgets, tracked supplier payments, and prepared tax returns. But in reality, every evening after work hours, she began her real job. Through a system specially set up for her by MIT, she tracked suspicious money transfers from around the world. The state-of-the-art computer in her office appeared to run accounting software. But simultaneously, it was an analysis center equipped with the most advanced encryption technologies. Her boss, Metin, knew she stayed late for overtime work. She's a very meticulous accountant, he would tell everyone. Doesn't make a single penny mistake. If only he knew that the single pennies Zeynep tracked were actually million-dollar money laundering transfers. Years passed. Zeynep Korkmaz lived with her perfectly camouflaged identity. The neighborhood shopkeeper knew her. The doorman said good morning every day. She discussed the weather with other commuters at the bus stop. But simultaneously, she contributed to dozens of operations, from Balkan spies to Middle Eastern terror financing, never leaving her keyboard, just by following the numbers. She was the one who prevented the 2019 terrorist attack in Germany by spotting and reporting a suspicious money transfer. She was also the one who exposed the spies in Greece in 2021 by catching an anomaly in a series of account movements. Nobody knew. Zeynep Korkmaz was a ghost hunter who tracked the world's most dangerous spies with her desktop computer. Until that night. The message appearing on her computer screen wasn't just a warning. It was also a challenge. We found you, ghost of Bosnia. This time you won't escape. Zeynep's hand trembled as she reached for the mouse. She traced the message's origin, tracked the sender's IP address, and began to see the bigger picture. The international money laundering network she'd been tracking for the past 6 months had been tracking her simultaneously. Every transfer she analyzed, every suspicious account she detected, revealed one more piece of her identity. Because only someone as talented as Zeynep Korkmaz could detect such complex money movements. She had given herself away. A message arrived on her phone. Unknown number. Don't go to your office tomorrow. Don't leave home. In 48 hours, you'll be moving to a new city with a new identity. It was MIT. They were trying to protect her, but Zeynep no longer wanted to run. For 15 years, she had stayed in the shadows. For 15 years, she had lived hiding her identity, concealing her true potential. This time would be different. The next day, she went to the office as usual. Are you okay, Zeynep? Asked Secretary Alif. You look a bit pale. I'm fine, dear, Zeynep said with a smile. Just a little tired. But in reality, she had never been more alert. When lunch break came, she noticed them. Two men on the fourth floor of the building across the street, adjusting a telescopic rifle. The bagel vendor on the street corner was too well dressed for a street vendor. And most importantly, the bus driver she'd seen that morning was now sitting in the cafe across from the office. She was surrounded. At 2:30 p.m., they put their plan into action. First, the electricity was cut. Then the internet connection was severed. Zeynep knew her computer's battery would only last 20 minutes. Time was running out. She placed her fingers on the keyboard and began her final mission. All the data she'd collected for 15 years, all the spies she'd identified, all the networks she'd exposed. She compiled them into a single file. But this time she did something different. She added her own identity to the file. My name is Zeynep Korkmaz, she typed. MIT Counter-Terror Financial Analysis Unit, Agent 0347. I have been serving you for 15 years. This file contains all the operations I've exposed, all the spy networks I've identified, and, she paused, and the complete identities of the enemy agents tracking you. Because the truth was, she had also analyzed the team tracking her. Money transfers, travel records, communication patterns. She had detected them all. When she pressed enter, the file was sent not only to MIT headquarters, but also to all the computers in the office. Just then, the door opened. 3 armed men entered. Their leader spoke in Turkish with a Serbian accent. Finally we meet, ghost of Bosnia. Zeynep stood up, still holding her calculator, as if she had been preparing for this moment for the past 15 years. You're wrong, she said in a calm voice. I'm not a ghost. The man frowned. I'm real, and now everyone will see me. At that moment, all the computer screens in the office lit up again. The file Zeynep had sent filled the screens. It contained not just her story, but also who these men were. Boss Metin looked at Zeynep in horror as he read the file. Secretary Elif's mouth hung open. The other employees in the accounting department were frozen in shock, learning who the woman they'd worked with for 15 years really was. The armed man prepared to pull the trigger, but it was too late. MIT's special unit teams had already surrounded the building. The sound of helicopters was approaching. Sirens filled the entire neighborhood. For the first time in 15 years, Zeynep was at peace with herself. We were very curious about your identity, said the MIT operations chief entering through the door. But we never expected such a dramatic introduction. Her boss Metin was still in shock. Zeynep, is this real? For the first time, Zeynep truly smiled. I served you for 15 years, Metin, both you and my country. That day, all newspaper headlines were the same. MIT agent who worked as an accountant for 15 years exposed dozens of espionage cases. But for Zeynep, the most important headline was the respect in her office colleagues' eyes. She was no longer hiding. She was no longer a ghost. She was the real Zeynep Korkmaz. And the numbers were still speaking to her. The only difference was that now everyone was listening. 3 months later, Zeynep Korkmaz stood before a room full of MIT's newest recruits. No longer wearing her old conservative office attire, she now wore the crisp uniform of a senior intelligence analyst. Financial intelligence, she began, her voice carrying new authority, is not about numbers. It's about stories. Every transaction tells you something. Every account movement reveals a secret. Your job is to listen to what the money is trying to tell you. A young recruit raised his hand. Ma'am, how do you distinguish between normal transactions and suspicious ones? Zeynep smiled, remembering her own early days. Experience teaches you, but more importantly, you need to understand that criminals always underestimate accountants. They think we're boring, predictable, invisible. That's our greatest weapon. She moved to the screen behind her, displaying a complex web of financial transactions. This network took me 3 years to map completely, 47 operatives across 12 countries, all because I followed a single suspicious transfer of 3,247 euros. The room was silent, hanging on every word. They saw me as just another office worker with a calculator, a middle-aged woman who counted their money and asked no questions. By the time they realized what I really was, their entire operation was compromised. After the briefing, as the recruits filed out, a senior officer approached her. "Any regrets about giving up your cover?" he asked. Zeynep looked out the window at the busy Istanbul street below.